Okay, thank you everyone, and especially John for the time. I hope everyone enjoyed the presentation. Bawah, the first time I met John, it was in the bus and he talked to me about the property in pure trade show. And
Marrakesh.
Marrakesh, yeah. Hopefully I'll be there this year again. But
Mm,
I had to stop by his booth just immediately and see, and it's an amazing property. I hope you all enjoy the presentation and learn a little bit more about this unique place on Earth. John, it's with you now.
okay, so let's go back to here. There we go. Is that good? Can you see the big
Yeah,
screen?
perfect. Yeah, all perfect.
I'll move that out of the way. So that's out of the way. So good morning, everybody. Bom dia. That's my Portuguese finished. So this is going to take you to Bawah Reserve, which is located about 150 miles northeast of Singapore. It's officially Indonesia, and this is 6 islands within a reef, 3 lagoons. It's only 36 suites, and then during lockdown, we actually built another little island of a private residence of 7 lodges. Some were very special. When we were forced to close last year in March due to COVID crisis, we had only been open for 2 years. But the project, I've been working with them since 2014. And in fact, it was built entirely by hand so as to protect the islands and the lagoons and the wildlife. It is a very eco-sustainable, friendly resort, but luxury at the same end. So you get the mixture of both. Think of Bawah in some ways being the new Maldives, because this area, the Anambas Islands, is 295 islands, only 19 are inhabited, and Bawah is the first resort. So others hopefully will get there eventually. You get to us by seaplane, and getting to us is sort of the biggest journey or the biggest complication of selling Bawah, but we'll help you through with that. Oh, nothing's happening. Hang on a second. So we are open all year when we're open. As I say, currently we're still closed. We're hoping that by October, the governments will open the borders so we can travel again. But basically it is compared to Bali, Malaysia, even Singapore, where you get a lot of rainfall. Our rainfall is pretty limited. And if it does happen, it's sort of November through until January, early February. That's when the winds will blow from the northeast, which I actually quite like because it keeps it nice and cooler, sort of 25 degrees in the evening or 20, 24. But in the summer months, the wind goes southerly, so it can get up to the 30s. We call ourselves the first Earth approach, or Earth first. Putting the planet is the priority of the owners. So no plastics, recycling as much as possible, composting, growing our own vegetables. We actually even advise guests not to bring sun creams that would damage the reefs and kill the marine life. We have 3 lagoons, and those lagoons are all part of a marine conservation park. We're the first one in Indonesia. So that's sort of all year coming to us. The journey. You must program your clients to stay a night or 2 in Singapore before and possibly after. That makes their trip easier because we basically pick people up at 7 in the morning. So by the time you've flown from Brazil or even from Europe or anywhere, Singapore is a long flight. So have a night in Singapore to acclimatize, and also because Brazilians tend to travel with an awful lot of luggage, and we do have a 15 kilo limit per person for the island. So if you have people staying in Singapore for 2 nights before and going back to the hotel after, then you can leave the majority of their luggage there and not have to bring it across on the ferry. So that would be happy clients, or for you and for us. If you do that way around. If they do want to bring the luggage with them, we have a storage area at Batam Airport, and so they can pick it up when they come back from the island. So basically you're starting at 7 a.m. car pickup at the hotel, 30-minute journey to the ferry port, meet our team at the ferry port who've got their boarding cards, have checked them in, they put their luggage for being carried onto the ferry, go to the lounge, and at 8:15 the ferry leaves, and it's a 30-minute crossing across to Batam, and that takes us across to Indonesia. It's the nearest point of Indonesia for customs, immigration, and then once through the VIP treatment, up to the airport, and they board the seaplane. The seaplane is a 10-seater, twin otter, 2 pilots, 1 international, 1 Indonesian, full safety standards by European flight regulations, not American. So it's a higher standard. And it's a 1 hour and 20-minute flight to the island. And you can see here on the picture, the islands are up here, and Bawah actually means under. So it's the first island you come to in the Anambas Islands. So they'll be in their room by 11:45, midday, time for lunch, and then time to relax and play, as you will see in a minute. Coming home, they would leave at 1 o'clock, be back by 1:30 in Batam, because there's a time difference of 1 hour, and then on a 2:30 ferry and across to Singapore by 4:45, and then transfer back to their hotel. If they are leaving Singapore, then they must be on a flight after 9 p.m. That's just to give us safety time for immigration, customs, traffic, etc. But as I say, because usually people will be traveling who had a lot of luggage, maybe a stop pre and post in Singapore is a good plan. Other option, if you want to combine them going down into Indonesia or coming from Indonesia, then the planes fly from Batam to Jakarta, Jakarta to Batam regularly. And it's about a 1 hour and 35-minute flight. Most airlines are doing it, CityLink, Garuda. And coming back from Bawah, it's really easy because we land at 1:30, you can be on a 2:30 flight. Batam International, even though it's an international airport, is quite quick, and our team would help them through. If they're coming in from Jakarta through Batam, they would have to stay a night in Batam. And there's a Best Western, there's Radisson and Marriott not far from the airport, and we could do the ground transfers for you. So once they get to the island, they will, and then we say a minimum 3-night stay, because that makes people have time to explore the island. But a lot of our people coming from long trips will do at least 5 nights, and I've had people stay up to 3 weeks. In fact, one woman recently from France, she stayed for 3 weeks, and recently, a year ago, she stayed for 3 weeks, and she said at the end, and I said, what's the problem? And she said, I should have stayed 4. So basically, you've got beach and garden suites, overwater bungalows, pool villas, infinity pool, jungle lodge, and then allowing private residences. You've got about 30 meters, 90 feet between each beach suite, with jungle in between. These are, and then they open straight onto the sand. They are 70 square meters in total. That includes your outdoor living area, your bedroom, which the walls close down. You can have air conditioning if you wish, or you just have the ceiling fan, or you just have the air coming in from the jungle. And then you have your bathroom behind, which is a bamboo wall structure with a ceiling, with an air fan in the ceiling. Very much think of safari meets the tropics, because these are bamboo structures, but with tented ceilings. So there's the influence of safari mixing in. So those are your beach suites. And most of these rooms, the first 2 categories, I would say are for 2 people or 1 person. We're also great for solo travelers because it's like a big club. So even if someone's traveling on their own, they will make friends with people while they're with us, and then start dining and sharing activities. The overwater bungalows, brilliant for the honeymooners. Well, I think so, maybe because I love being over the water. And you don't have, these are wooden structures. You can actually go straight down off the deck into the sea. And they are on the east and the west of the island, but they're all facing south. So the eastern ones are closer to the boathouse restaurant and to the water sports. The westerly ones, the water is a bit deeper, so people, if they want to swim all the time, then it's a good one to go for. We do allocate by request, so we can't guarantee east or west, but we'll always go for what the client wishes for. We do welcome families, but the only thing is we don't take children under 5 years old. So 5 and older are welcome. The reason of this is the location of the resort. We are a long way from a hospital. We have our own medical facilities on island, but it is adapted for adults primarily. So also we're a rugged island. There's lots of steps, places where little ones could go bang. Buggies don't really work well on the pathways because they're all sandy pathways. So we've just realized that infants and toddlers don't really work well. But as of 5, they're little Robinson Crusoes. They adore running around. So our first sort of family room is the Jungle Lodge. And this should have been the general manager's house. I hijacked it and converted it into a room for families because you have 2 bedrooms, door by door, side by side. You go through to them via the living room and the dining room. We've also got this outside deck for outside dining. It's about 85 steps up to the Jungle Lodge, but it's also about a 3-minute walk to the beach because it's in the jungle. And since we've put on that outside deck, it has been sold out nearly all the time. We did a little modification to what we had as a deluxe villa before, and we created it into a 2-bedroom pool villa. So put in a pool, living room, dining room, straight onto the beach. And so you've got your master bedroom in the center. And if you book during low season, you can just book it as a 1-bedroom pool villa. So luxury. So when I'm saying low season, just don't come Christmas, New Year, Easter, and August. Outside of those dates, we would sell it as a 1-bedroom. Otherwise, it has to be 2-bedroom. And you have a beach suite with it. And if you then have another couple of children, or you have 2 grown-up children who don't want to have the same room, this works really well. We open the door in the wall here, and then you have a 3rd bedroom here with your living room, dining room area inside. I was actually the first person to use this room on the 14th of December 2019 to test it. And then 5 days later, it was rented pretty much through until March 2020. It sells like hotcakes, especially with families. And I've got several bookings for 2022 already for it.
So it's important that even though you're not open, people already plan for 2022. Yep.
When I'm finishing the presentation, I've got to confirm to a French agent a honeymoon in 2022 for people doing Japan and then coming to us. Okay. And they will arrive at 4:55 in the morning and we'll transfer them straight to the island. Well, they'll catch the 7 o'clock transfer. So yes, we are taking bookings for 2022. And even at the moment, we're still taking them for autumn 21. But if something happens, people have total freedom to cancel, get their money back. Money back. We're not taking any money for 2021 bookings until 30 days before travel. 2022, it's 35% deposit. You pay the rest 60 days before arrival. If your trip is disturbed because of COVID, government restrictions in your country, our country, or wherever, we will actually refund in full or postpone for 365 days at no cost. So what we also had then, we converted 2 beach suites where we took away the jungle in between, put in an infinity pool and a deck and a living room, dining room, because we'd found that we didn't have 2 bedrooms the same. So couples traveling together, so they could have equal accommodation and then a living room area. So the 2-bedroom infinity was added during lockdown, and we've actually done 2 of these units, and is proving to be very popular so far. And then the final bit on accommodation is Alang. So Alang is this little island here in the center of the lagoon, just across from the jetty. You have the main island here, and you can see on this map all the different kayaking, the hiking trails across the island, the snorkeling and diving areas. So these are all the activities that people will do. But this little island, Alang, is sort of like, it's a private residence within Bawah. It's sold as 7 units, 5 1-bedroom and 1 2-bedroom. It's got its own dining room, clubhouse, bar, pool area here. Everything is looking to the south, so you're not looking onto the main island, and it is sold as a total buyout. So 2 bathrooms in each room, each suite. So you've got your bedroom, you've got your living room area, and then you've got a his and hers or double bathrooms. And they're like lodges. They're again inspired by safari, inspired by that attitude, that style, but built out of bamboo, wooden roofs. And here you have a brilliant little balcony or deck, veranda that we can put the walls up and down and sit out on. And then the pool is a saltwater pool that is changed automatically by the tide. So cleaned out every day. But we're selling this, as I say, as buyout. So a big family travel together. The under 5 or the 5 child age limit is still applicable. If it's sold separately, which will happen eventually in 2022, where you can just book a room, it'll be an adults only facility. People who come to Elang can go back to the mainland, but people from the mainland can't come to Elang. So if you want to go back to the bars and the restaurants on the island, you can. And it also has its own spa. And I'll get to the spa later in a sec when we've got through the food. So we are remote, so we work on a full board basis. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, all non-alcoholic drinks, coffee, tea, mineral waters, soft drinks, all are included in your rate. It's all a la carte. We can adapt to any dietary requirements needed. So the main restaurant is in the center, which is treetops. It's at 30 meters above sea level. You climb up to that, 120 steps, keeps you fit. And then this is the view you have while you're dining. And with the new COVID rules of you must have space between diners and fresh air, that's not a problem in Bawah because there's loads of space and loads of air. And then we also have down the boathouse. The boathouse is down on the beach, which is where you can do your dining experiences, feet in the sand. A lot of the time people go here for lunch. The picture behind me in my presentation is, I don't know, you can't see that now, but basically the picture that was behind me is basically.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
You can see it, yeah. So that is the boathouse looking out east. And you go down for a salad and you'll be there for 2 hours because it's just such a beautiful view. So it's also next to the water sports. So basically any water sports on the island, whether it's kayaking, paddleboard, Hobie cat, snorkeling, swimming, is included in your room rate. The only thing that you pay for while you're on Bawah is alcohol and diving. Diving, you're paying, all the money you pay is going towards the Bawah Foundation, which is going for the education of the local population in preserving the environment, preserving the ocean, going towards our coral regeneration program, and also educating the locals in English, in recycling. And we've even converted local fishermen to be farmers who are now growing products for us organically, but also selling it to the other islands. And that was all part of the Bawah Foundation. So while you're with us, you're going to be relaxing, swimming, snorkeling. The snorkeling is phenomenal. You can, usually when I'm there, I would snorkel for 2 hours without even blinking. There's so many different corals, so many different fish. I've seen turtles just off the jetty. You see black-tip sharks while you're at your overwater bungalow. They're harmless, apparently, but I wouldn't get in the water myself with them. And then you can also go on a permaculture tour, go and visit and see how it goes. Do a batik class, go hiking in the morning or the evening across the island for sunrise, sunset. We will do open air cinema 1 night a week. An Indonesian cooking class, croquet, play soccer with the staff if they're around. And then also one of the things to do is a picnic on one of our 13 beaches. You're dropped there. It's not, it's a little chalet, bamboo structure. You're on a desert island by yourself. There's only one per beach, so we wouldn't be putting other picnickers beside you. And of course, remembering that every day you have a spa treatment per person. So we don't pre-book this for the simple reason that from experience, people plan all these things in advance. They get off the seaplane and they rip up the schedule because they've seen something or coming in, or they want to just go and flop on the bed, on a sunbed, or they want to go swimming or snorkeling. And so what we do is we organize a little pre-spa treatment on the first day so that they can meet the team, they can get a feeling of what they need, we know what they need, and then we program the rest of their spa treatments. And if they do want a special, what we call the Spa Explorer, where it's a 3-hour session, private, that is a paying service. They go out to another island and can do that. There is a gym for those who need to work out. We do yoga, Pilates classes each day. And anything that is as such a group, and I mean a group in Bawah, it maybe be 4 people. If someone wants just private activities, it can all be done, and there's just a cost to pay. So basically, sort of summing us up, we are the Maldives with our 13 beaches, we're the Seychelles with our rock formation, and we're Indonesia with our primary rainforest, all in one destination. So I'll give you a little video, just so you get a little feel of like being on Bawah for the day. And it'll just give you a feeling. If anybody needs a copy of this video or any images they want to share on their social media, absolutely no problem at all. You just let me know. All of these are public for use. So, because when you sort of send this to your client, they'll probably be ringing you to book.
So can I share the links that you send it to me?
I'll share the lead. Yeah, I'll send you the leads for this. The videos, I'll send you the links or so you can download them. And any of the images that you already have, Fabiano, from what I sent you, you can share them with people to use.
Perfect.
So the snorkeling is amazing. The sailing, I adore it because that's one of my passions. You kayak around the island in 45 minutes. You can kayak to one side and then walk back over and tell the guys to go and pick up your canoe. Or just relax by the pool. This amazing thing is stargazing, watching and just relax. I mean, we don't have to do digital detox in Bawah because people basically will switch off as soon as they're there. So I was saying, hopefully we'll welcome your clients in 2021, but definitely 2022. 21 seems to be zooming past us at speed. It is a great place as a, I mean, we've had clients from Brazil, quite a few already. Even though people would think we're miles away, combining it with going on somewhere else, combining it with Indonesia, combining it with Vietnam, Malaysia, Japan, from Kuala Lumpur to Vietnam for 4 days, cross into Japan for 4 days. So it's all feasible, and is an option that you could do, or combining it with just Singapore and do concrete jungle dining, etc., and then come out to us.
No,
so there you go.
I think it's just a location. We had one client staying there that she said she was a little bit upset. She went there like in her 40s because she will not find another place on earth that will surprise her and be so nice as the one she really wanted to experience. She was really overwhelmed by the experience she had there, and she first booked the beach villa, and then she wanted to the overwater villa upgrade. And then she said, I should have stayed, I think she stayed 3 or 4 nights, and she said I should have stayed more. And
we do actually have clients who can't make their mind up between beach suite and overwater, and we will happily split the stay like she did.
Okay.
But we'll do so many nights on the beach, and then they can do so many nights on the water. But one of the words that I really associate with our clients, our guests, is wow.
Yeah.
And it always happens because you take off from Batam and there's a bit of excitement watching Batam, Bintan, and then there's like 40 minutes, 45 minutes of just ocean. So everyone starts to snooze because they've got up early in Singapore to catch the flight. They maybe are still a bit jet lagged. And as the pilot starts coming down, everybody starts waking up, and then he always flies around the island 360.
Okay.
So people get a full view of the resort, the islands, the beaches, and everyone's staring at going, you can always hear it. Just and that's why I say we don't tend to program too much in advance, because all plans get thrown in the bin. But it is somewhere very special. If you have clients who've been everywhere but are looking for something new, we're not just a new resort, we're a new destination in the world. It's not Bali, it's not Java, it's not Lombok, even though it's part of Indonesia, which is a very big and complicated country and an expansive country of different products. But no, it's, if you've had people who adore Maldives and looking for something different, or they're Seychelles, or just looking for something to add on if they're going to Singapore for business and want to add on 3 days of escape from the craziness of the city, that's another option.
Okay, and just to review it, once they arrive, pretty much everything is included, inclusive of the one spa treatment per day, correct?
Their laundry, daily laundry, all food, all drink apart from alcohol, their spa treatments, all activities apart from diving.
And even like the picnics that you said, if we have like a honeymooner or something, can we arrange or book in advance this picnic experience
Yes,
for them?
the picnic is booked in advance and is subject to tide.
But yeah, but we can book in advance then for
Yes,
sure, something
yeah.
like that.
Exactly.
So
That we would book in advance. Any sort of private experiences we would book in advance, but with the sort of the idea that it could be have
changed
to be
or
modified because of tides, because access to the beach or to that island. Private dining experiences on the main island can be pre-booked as well, especially if it's an anniversary, a birthday. And all the staff love organizing surprises.
okay,
So
that's nice. So like if someone wants to ask someone into a wedding, like
yes, yeah, they
all
adore
of
that
those.
sort of,
Okay.
they adore that sort of challenge.
Okay, so that's really good news and explaining to everyone.
Yeah.
We already have the rates for next year,
Yep.
which is all ready and good to go. So if anyone wants more information on the resort and we can't give it, I'm sure John will help us out, and I'll reach out to him and talk about how we can proceed from now on. And thank you so much for your time, John. I don't see.
Organizers.
Yeah, I only see one question here before, is if there is flight from Kuala Lumpur to Batam, if you know that by head.
There is a flight from or there was a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Batam. It's a low-cost airline, so it doesn't actually go from Kuala Lumpur main airport. It goes from a secondary airport in Kuala Lumpur. So if they're in Kuala Lumpur, then they can fly across. I don't know the time of it. I think it still requires an overnight, but to be a flight, yes, there used to be flights in, and you'd see it better in your systems.
Yeah, and we'll know about it in a few months, probably when things get back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was one place that you could fly to, because I had journalists back in 2016 or 17, 2016, who we came out on the boat, because we used to go by boat before we had the seaplane. And they flew from Kuala Lumpur to Batam.
Okay. I will just do a brief Portuguese resume of what we spoke to all the agents, and I'll come back. Sorry for that.
No problem, please.
Pessoal, agradecer todo mundo que está aqui. O resumo rápido para ver se todo mundo entendeu. Todas as alimentações inclusas, o transporte já de hidroavião é mais ou menos igual nas Maldivas, a gente organiza daqui com eles, então já é feito tudo direto com o hotel, que facilita bastante a organização. Os tratamentos de spa, um por dia. A questão da gente poder fazer a reserva prévia, se os passageiros quiserem celebrar um aniversário, um casamento, alguma coisa, a gente consegue reservar com antecedência. E os custos adicionais são, se quiserem mais de uma massagem por dia, ou de um tratamento de spa, na verdade, né? Se quiserem fazer scuba diving, que vai tudo para a fundação deles, esse custo extra, ou se quiserem bebida alcoólica, o restante eles já está todo organizado. Realmente, os feedbacks que nós tivemos dos clientes são algo incrível, por ser justamente isolado e novo, né? Então, como ele falou, 2 anos só de operação antes de fecharem. Então, realmente é um destino bem bacana para quem tiver passageiros nesse perfil. Eu vou, acho que, encerrar aqui já com ele, se ninguém mais tiver perguntas, que eu não estou vendo aqui, mas com certeza a gente vai mandar material para todos. John, I don't think we saw more questions here. It was a very good presentation.
Thank you.
Everyone.
If anybody wants this, because I've just seen a message from Case Turismo saying I'd like to receive the material. If anybody wants the presentation, I can send it to you and you can share it with them that they can use it.
Yeah, I was going to share the link with the images, but if you send me the...
if somebody wants the PowerPoint, just let me know, because there's nothing confidential in it, so...
Yeah, send it to me. Yeah, send it to me with the link of the videos for download, so I can forward everyone after we finish here. I think it's a very good option. And they are saying here, Lídia, sim, Singapura and Kuala Lumpur, não, só dá para chegar de Singapura, Lídia. A gente é a melhor opção, apesar de Batam ser para onde vai, mas chegue por Singapura, fique ali 2 noites antes, 1 noite depois, com os passageiros para fazer as conexões aéreas sem problemas. Lembremos que tem o PCR, então talvez até inverter, ficar 1 noite na chegada em Singapura e 2 ou 3 na saída, para dar para fazer PCR para algum outro destino. A gente tem que pensar nisso também, tá? Então, Singapura é a melhor opção. Yeah, I'm saying that Singapore, they should stay also more after, because of the COVID tests and all those things that we'll need to.
If the we've been told by Raffles Clinic that they can get us COVID test in 6 hours, but as you would only get back at 5 p.m. out of immigration customs, it'll be tough to get.
They'll need 1 or 2 nights for sure in Singapore later.
Actually, my final clients before we closed in March were from Brazil, and Singapore had already closed the borders, so we were actually sending him to Jakarta to catch Emirates, because Emirates, Qatar and Turkish Airlines fly daily, or were flying daily out of Jakarta around midnight. But I wouldn't be able to get the PCR test, so it's probably better to go back to Singapore.
To Singapore and stay, for a few days. Anyway, thank you very much. It was a pleasure
thank you
learning
so much.
more. And hope we have some reservations soon for the resort for 2022 or late this year.
And so lovely to see everybody online and back in business.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you so much for setting it up, Fabiano. And we'll keep in touch.
Ok, thank you so much. E obrigado a todos aí por mais essa presença aí de vocês. Até logo.